Coming to your source with some gameplay of the XR-2, which is a 3-round burst weapon. It's sort of similar to the M8A7 in that it is also another burst weapon. However, there are things that I really need to see changed with this gun because there are a lot of things I think that the M8A7 outclasses it by. And honestly, I think this gun has the potential to be very good. So before the beta came out, actually, a lot of people got the chance to play it at E3 or the XR-2s, and everyone was basically saying that this is the best assault rifle in the game. There are very strong attributes to it, and honestly, from the gameplay I saw, I agreed. However, the beta version of this gun isn't as great, and there are a lot of things that need to be changed. To start off, the most noticeable penalty to the XR-2 is the slow rate of fire. The delays between each burst and each shot within a burst are both very long, which can lead to clips like this. Although at first shot, and given that I'm using a burst weapon, I should be easily able to drop him, right? Well, it turns out that he had shot me before my burst completed, giving me a lot of flinch, and since my burst hadn't completed yet, he shot me again! So it takes me another burst to take him out, whereas with the M8A7, I would have landed my full burst before he even had time to react, and honestly, I probably wouldn't have needed the second burst to finish him off anyway. Next up is the recoil of this weapon. Now, it's nothing crazy. It is a burst fire weapon, so it's never going to be chaotic. But a lot of the times, you're going to be prone to getting a lot of missed targets when you're shooting at long ranges. Because, it's an XR-2. It's a burst fire weapon. It's designed for medium to long range engagements. If you're not able to get your medium to long range shots on target because of the recoil, which oftentimes is the case, whether there be, behind cover or if you're going for headshots or if you flinch, a lot of times with XR-2, that does happen. And you can't compensate for that because the XR-2 has a slow rate of fire. The M8A7, however, has low recoil within each burst, has a high rate of fire, and also has high damage and high flinch. So basically, it's a much simpler gun to use, and I don't like the fact that I'm using an XR-2, which is a burst fire weapon, which I'm forced to use be very accurate with. Don't get me wrong, it's a fun gun to use. It's especially when you're being accurate with it. It's just that I just don't feel rewarded for my accuracy. I don't feel like I'm getting my shots on target. I don't feel like I'm winning all the engagements that I could if I was using an M8, or honestly that I should, because a lot of the times I'll have the upper hand on an enemy, and it's just easier for them to get the kill. Honestly, it's just so much harder to use this gun than the M8A7 because there's so many drawbacks to using this gun compared to the M8A7. Like I said before, this is a very, very important gun for Treyarch to get right because the M8A7 is so powerful. We need an alternative to the M8A7. My solution for this gun is that you still make it, you don't make it as fast fired as the M8A7, but what you do is you make the recoil almost zero. You make the recoil flat out on this burst fire weapon. So the fact that it has lower damage than the M8A7, it's hard to say it has lower damage now because the stats aren't really in for this game. We don't have dedicated sort of facts about this gun. I don't know the rate of fire, I don't know the exact damage or anything like that, but I do know that the M8A7 flinches more, and it is basically the highest flinching assault rifle in the game. I believe so. The fact that the XR-2 isn't, and the fact that the XR-2 basically has lower damage, lower rate of fire, and worse recoil means that it's outclassed in pretty much every single one of the three out of the four big categories. The fourth biggest category, I think, in my opinion, is range. The XR-2's range isn't that bad, but neither is M8A7, so you have that as well. But as you can see what I'm getting at here, we need to sort of make these two guns, the M8A7 and XR-2, very different from each other. I think the M8A7 should be a very good medium to somewhat close range, not close range as in shotgun range, not close range as in submachine gun range, but just slightly below the medium range that people expect. I think it should be a close-ish, like I said before, close-ish to medium to sort of longish distance engagement, gunfight, gun, whatever. And the XR-2 should be a very long range to medium to long range engagement. It should have very low recoil. The burst delay should be decreased, and honestly, I think the fire rate is fine as long as they make those two changes. Those are really my biggest things for this gun. That will really separate these two guns apart. That will really make them different. That will really make both of these guns very usable and very balanced, honestly. Guys, thank you all for watching my video. Subscribe to give me YouTube money, and I will catch you all in my next video. Peace out.